MC8 once described him as one of the most influential and prolific DJs to touch a turntable. DJ Mike T was a turntablist, producer, and a foundational member of the West Coast rap group Compton's Most Wanted. He's widely regarded amongst fans and hip-hop historians for helping shape the gritty, soulful sound of early West Coast hip-hop, alongside MC8, The Chill, DJ Slip, and the Unknown DJ. He started his career as a club and street DJ in Los Angeles in the late 1980s, spinning at various venues and high school events before becoming deeply involved in the underground rap scene. He began performing publicly on PA systems and at local events in LA before transitioning to club DJ gigs as hip-hop exploded on the West Coast. His early success came from being a great turntablist who could blend street sensibilities with party rhythms, a skill set that helped him gain respect amongst local MCs and producers. Before Compton's Most Wanted recorded their debut, the group had another DJ, Eiht Capone, but he ended up leaving the crew, allegedly due to contract and management issues. DJ Mike T stepped in and became the group's official DJ and scratch artist right as they were preparing their first studio album, It's a Compton Thing, in 1990. From that point on, he was Compton's Most Wanted scratch master and an integral part of the crew's recording process, performing on stage, in the studio, and on tours with the group. Compton's Most Wanted is one of the earliest and most influential gangster rap collectives from Compton. They formed in the late 1980s. And for anyone who doesn't know out there, the members included MC8, probably the most noticeable, The Chill, DJ Slip, DJ Mike T, rest in peace, The Unknown DJ, and Boom Bam. Compton's Most Wanted helped define West Coast music outside of the NWA camp by blending street realism with funk-informed production, and they built a dedicated following through albums like It's a Compton Thing. That was their debut album. Straight Checking 'Em, banger. Music to Drive By, one of my favorites. Probably my favorite from them. Definitely my favorite from them. But Mike T performed on and he contributed to many of the group's early recordings, primarily through scratches and production work, including one of my personal favorites, Hood Took Me Under, the iconic single from Music to Drive By. For much of the 90s, Mike T was also one of LA's go-to club DJs. He was spinning at high-profile venues like Hollywood Live, places like Paradise 24, The Hop. If you were around in the 90s, those sound very, very familiar to you. Many more. Lots of clubs back then. But sadly, DJ Mike T passed away in January 2026, as confirmed by news reports and tributes from fellow artists, including MC8. It marked the loss of a deeply respected figure in West Coast hip-hop. Someone instrumental both behind the turntables and in defining Compton's Most Wanted's sound. I'm going to go on and take a little puff of this J for you right quick. DJ Mike T, and a sip of this brew. Light one up for you. And if you're listening out there and you're a fan of West Coast hip hop, feel free to do the same. It's unfortunate that artists like DJ Mike T only get talked about when they're gone. We had Mike T on the show back in 2019. And whenever Compton's Most Wanted is brought up on my show, and it has been several times in the past when discussions of hip-hop evolve, I always remember to mention Mike T. Going to take a little sip of this brewski. R.I.P., brother. But let's talk about Compton's Most Wanted for a little bit. I remember when I heard MC8's smooth voice. MC8's voice will go down as one of the most distinct, unique voices in hip-hop history. Yeah. Come on. At one point, Compton's Most Wanted, MC8 was the hottest thing in the streets when it came to West Coast hip-hop. It's a Compton thing. Music to drive by. First song I think I ever liked from MC8 was Duck Sick. Me and my boys were bumping Duck Sick. And then we just started saying that around school. It became a new saying. What happened? Yeah, she get a little duck sick this weekend. Yeah. MC8 started that. But it was a rap. It was a rap when I heard MC8 on the Menace to Society soundtrack. Oh my God. Wake your punk ass up for the 93 shot. MC8's in the motherfucking house. And it ain't nothing but a Compton thing, y'all. And we ain't nothing but niggas on the run. And this goes out to my niggas. Yeah. A fucked up childhood is why the way I am got me in a place where I don't give a damn. Somebody hear me. Y'all know the lyrics. Come on, you don't hear me though. I guess I'll be another victim of the ghetto. Man, that beat, everything about that song is amazing. Amazing. To this day, I play that song. Stays in my rotation when I want to go back down memory lane. That whole soundtrack was dope, but MC8, they made a great choice by putting that song as the main song for the album. MC8 took that and he ran with that. Man, shout out to MC8 for making that such a great song. And not a bad actor. I remember watching Menace to Society. Because first off, I think, and I get flack for this when I say this, I think Menace to Society had some pretty bad actors. I don't really think Kane was really a good actor. I know. I get slack. The guy who ran out of the house when they were about to do the drive-by, and he's looking to the left, looking to the right, looking to the left, looking to the right, I didn't really think he was really a good actor back then. Of course, these guys ended up becoming, legends in their own right, but back then I was just like, eh. And there were just a couple other characters. This is like, man, they're not good actors. But I felt like MC8 was one of the best actors in that movie. I felt MC8 when they were driving in that car and Kane and O-Dog were going back and forth. And he said, man, shut the fuck up. Both of y'all sounded like some bitches right now. I was 12 years old. Never been in a situation like that, but it stopped me in my tracks. I said, damn, I feel MC8. And give me my motherfucking joint back. And then they pull up to the burger stand. And then one of the guys is running the way after getting bus on. And MC8 says, "Hey man, can I help you, homie?" And then he runs up to him. He's like, "Bah, bah, 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 punk, come on." And then you hear the train in the background. Can you tell I've listened to watch that movie probably 180 times in my life? No exaggeration, as many of you did. Back in the day when all we had was a VCR, maybe what? If we were lucky, 20, 30 movies, VHSs, DVDs. So shit, what'd you have to do? You had to keep recycling and watching those motherfuckers. You know how many times I watched Menace to Society? Like, legit. The hours of my life that I spent just watching Menace to Society, if I could add them all up, if you add it all up, it'd be probably months with the amount of hours that I spent as a kid watching Menace to Society. I can't even watch it to this day because it's like, dude, I've seen it so many times. I just, you know what I mean? I might, if my favorite part's on, I might sit down and watch it. But for the most part, nah, like I can't because I've seen it so many times. But Eiht did a great job in that movie. Great job in that movie. Shout out to him, man, as an actor. I think he did a great job. And, you know, I wish we would have saw him in more roles, but we did not, unfortunately. If you guys can't tell, I'm a little clogged up. I've been sick for the last few days, so if I sound like different, I'm not over here doing blow or anything. Nope. Just me and my Mucinex and my toilet paper here and my beer and my wine, because you know what? That makes me feel better when I'm feeling a little sicky poo. But yeah, man, MC8, Compton's Most Wanted in general. I mean, where do you guys rate Compton's Most Wanted? On, you know, top 10 or whatever West Coast hip hop groups. Let's just stick to the West Coast. I mean, shit, because we got a lot over here. We don't have to go we ain't got to go past Arizona. We got so many here. I mean, shit, I'll put them right up there with NWA and Dog Pound. Yep. Definitely. When it comes to inspiration and being pioneers in the game, they kind of edged out the sound that a lot of people around the country copied and said, I want my music to sound like that. I love to listen to old 90s music. There's a channel out there on YouTube, and I wish I could give them their proper due and their proper love. But this dude plays 90s obscure hip hop, like 90s, and he'll go from West Coast. He goes everywhere. But everyone, not everyone, listening back to that music now in hindsight, a lot of those people were trying to sound like Compton's Most Wanted. A lot of those people were trying to sound like the music that DJ Mike T, Unknown DJ, Slip, all these guys, Boom Bam, that they were making. Because it was the cool sound. And believe me, when you put a Compton's Most Wanted tape in your car, and if you had a system like a lot of us did back in the 90s, as soon as I got some money, I go get me a system, financial aid check, I blew it on a system. Oh gosh, I was a ding-a-ling. But yeah, I really remember those days blowing out my eardrums listening to MC8 and Compton's Most Wanted. But one of the main things as a hip-hop fan that I remember, because I was big on beefs back then, right? Diss tracks was the shit. Good diss track was the shit back in the 90s, and there were so many hip-hop beefs. But one of the biggest ones and one of my favorites to this day, and it spawned some great music. It spawned rivalry. Unfortunately, it spawned some real street shit. In the streets, it was going down over these two rappers beefing, but I really appreciated that beef with DJ Quik. Personally, I appreciated that. As a music fan, I appreciated the music that came out of it. I appreciated the story behind it. What I knew as a fan, you know, it's starting from the red tape and kicking it at the top of the treehouse, and for CMW to see. I mean, you got it. I have all videos and all that on this whole beef. So if you want to go down that rabbit hole, check out my channel and go down that rabbit hole and just type in DJ Quik, MC8, Dusty Vision. You'll find probably 4 or 5 videos just on that topic alone. But as a hip hop fan, that was one of my favorites. I mean, Dollars and Cents, one of the greatest diss songs ever. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. You left out the G because the G ain't in you is probably one of the hardest bars in diss history. That's one of those ones you like, damn. Because anyone who doesn't know, MC8 is E-I-H-T, not E-I-G-H-T. It's E-I-H-T. He said, you left out the G because the G ain't in you. Damn. Good stuff, man. That was a fun time in hip-hop. In hindsight, unfortunately, I found out that it led to a lot of street stuff, and that's unfortunate. But back in the day when I knew nothing about what was going on in the street like that, when it came to that situation, just as a fan of hip hop, I enjoyed that time. I enjoyed that time immensely. But MC8 ended up doing a lot of music with artists on the East Coast also. There's some projects out there specifically with him, with artists from the East Coast. And actually, I love hearing MC8 over a standard boom bap beat. It's one of my, I like that gangsta flow over a boom bap track. Man, that's so dope. But yeah, I mean, he even pops up on songs every once in a while. I mean, a couple of my favorites from the recent past. Candy. Was that on Snoop Dogg's album? Just like candy, candy. You want him? I got him. Dripping like water. Or was it E40? Am I getting my songs mixed up? Y'all know what I'm talking about. I think he was on, he was definitely on one or the other. Don't mind me, I'm on Mucinex, guys. Mucinex and Kush. I should write a song called Mucinex and Kush. But Kendrick Lamar, he was on that joint where the beat flipped and MC8 came in. Man, that shit was hard. And I love how younger artists still give MC8 love, and they show him love as, one of the main pioneers in this West Coast hip hop shit. But I wish and I want you all, the amount of love that you give and show MC8, I want you to show that to DJ Mike T, one of those unsung heroes of West Coast hip hop who doesn't get mentioned often. But that's why you tune in to my channel, so you can hear me give the flowers to the people who aren't here anymore, because I did give them to them when they were here. And that's the main thing. Give people their flowers while they're here. Oh, I'm almost 50. I don't know how old you are listening out there right now, but life moves fast. I know when you're in your 20s, you're out there banging hoes with no condom, and you just getting all kind of STDs, popping everything, popping pills and all that shit, right? Inhaling shit. When you're out there doing that, just remember, oh man, it's going to be here so fast. So cherish it, because DJ Mike T was not an old dude by any means, man. By any means. He was not an old cat. If he was 60, I'd be surprised. 55, maybe. I'll be talking to my homeboy Alonzo more about him on our next show. We're going to do a whole show dedicated to him, Compton's Most Wanted. We're going to talk about all the good old days, because my homeboy Alonzo Williams was heavily involved with their career. All of them. MC8, Mike T, has gone on record saying that Alonzo Williams, my co-host, my homeboy, my friend, Alonzo Williams is the reason he started making music, and that he started making beats and producing and DJing and getting into the music business. That's how deep this shit goes over here on DustyVisionTV. So if you like real West Coast hip-hop, let me give a shout-out to my boy Alonzo Williams. We do a show every single Tuesday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Alonzo Williams is the godfather of West Coast hip-hop. It's my homeboy. Love that dude. He is the pioneer. I'm not going to say a pioneer and lump him in with everyone else on the West Coast. No offense to anybody out there, but he is the pioneer when it comes to West Coast hip-hop. Period. Point blank. The tree, the branch, everything starts right motherfucking there. So the stories we talk about, man, the who's who of West Coast hip-hop. So if you enjoy that type of stuff, go over to NWA Stories with Alonzo, NWA Stories with Lonzo, right here on YouTube. NWA Stories with Lonzo, and the NWA stands for Not Without Alonzo. Talk West Coast hip hop, we talk life, we do all of that shit. Please make sure you hit that like button if you appreciated what you heard right here. Just a little tribute, man, a little tribute to Mike. A little showing some love to Compton's Most Wanted and MC8. You know, why not? Gotta show him love, man. Gotta show him love. If you want me to do a specific show on someone, comment down below. I would love to know. Definitely would love to know. Maybe there's someone in West Coast hip hop that I don't know about. Please let me know. I'd love to do more stuff like this. And let me know if you appreciate it. Comment down below. And please hit that like button if you have not already. And if this is your first time joining the channel and you like what you hear, please hit that subscribe button.